Morning. What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a good day so far. Let's see what's going on today. Alrighty. In about 24 minutes, we have Fed Chair Powell speaking. Woohoo. 8:30 a.m., so about an hour and 20 minutes. Core durable goods. We have durable good orders. 9:55. Another Fed member, Bullard, is speaking. 10 o'clock, consumer confidence, new home sales, Richmond manufacturing index. So we have a handful of economic events coming out today. So just want to keep an eye on them while we're trading. 7:30, 8:30. Germany suspects sabotage to Nord Stream pipelines. No kidding. You're kidding, right? Duh. I talked about this yesterday. I was like, look, it's not a coincidence. Come on now. All right, let's take a look at the markets. See what's in play today. Taking a look at the dollar. Keep in mind that this week we have like 4 days left in this week. It's also the last week of the month, and then September comes to an end. And so I'm going to be keeping an eye on the higher time frames because we'll most likely get end of month volatility, and the market's going to decide where it wants to end up price wise, where it wants to reject come to the end of the month. And so looking at the Dixie here, we're right at that 114 area that I talked about. Looking back in 2002, this is an area that we've had some contention in before. Looking back in 2002, some pretty big rejection area, as well as 2001 and 2001 here. It's a pretty big inflection point here for the Dixie. And so it's going to be interesting to see if this is an area that we peak temporarily, or if this is just something that we're running into some temporary resistance and we then continue on through. So I'd expect us to at least leave some type of rejection here. I don't think that we're going to break through come the month end. I think it's going to come with fresh October volume. So I'd expect us to reject 115, probably respect the highs of yesterday, today, and just consolidate moving sideways with the dollar, unless we get something crazy with Powell. I don't know what else would really move it. Something Powell says, maybe consumer confidence, but not really. I mean, there's nothing out there that really would make this thing break out or fall off. So I think we'll just have an inside day today, most likely. Looking at the 4-hour chart on the dollar, we are coiling in here pretty tight, getting pretty tight in here. So if it gets tight enough today, and we get some type of accumulation break, then we'll get a break a high or a break a low. It just depends on how long you want to accumulate and tighten for. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Does the dollar break 114, 130 today, or does it break 113, 245? If it breaks either or, then we're going to be moving in that direction for the day. So keeping an eye on these levels here for a continued breakout or a breakdown here. Let's take a look at the ES, the market, the equities market. Finding some support here at previous lows. I guess no surprise, right? I mean, if you draw the level over here, we did come back into this rejection zone the last 3 days of price action. And currently we're shooting out of it, giving us a little bit of a rejection here. And so again, like I mentioned, it's coming to month's end. And so if you look at the monthly chart here for the ES, this zone here, decent level of rejection. I talk about this a lot, right? Is when you have some pretty strong movement one way or the other. In this case, it's a bullish price action. You want to look for those outliers. There's one candles that are amongst the sea of green in this case. And so if you draw it over, if you put a border around this one red candle here, this is going to be an area that you're going to want to expect it to reject and find some support temporarily, some support, which is why you saw this rejection here back in June. Again, this rejection back in July, and potentially this rejection this month in September. We'll see how it reacts. Now, this is the third time we're retesting it, so it could continue down now. But given that this is a strong area of rejection here, strong area of rejection here, it could put up a little bit more of a fight. And again, it's these lows of this bearish market here, so it's going to have some fight either way. Same thing on the weekly. Pretty strong area of contention on the weekly chart looking left as well. Big battleground. I take a look at these wicks here as we started breaking down through these wicks, grabbed liquidity and ran. And so again, this is going to be an area that's just strong that people just tend to trade off of. And so you're seeing a little bit of a bounce here today. As expected, it's a strong area. It's the lows, strong area of contention. And I'd expect coming into month's end that we might produce some type of wick like this as well. Some type of rejection wick, maybe bounce out here the next couple of days. But this week's going to be very telling on where we continue temporarily. Does the weekly candle close bullish and give us some support being formed? That'll give us a couple of days of bullish momentum out of here, and maybe we retest the breakdown here and then continue lower. But yeah, so this week's will be pretty important to see, do we support and continue, or do we find temporary support, bounce, and then reject come month's end? If we close below here month's end, we're going to have a pretty deep dive. One thing to keep an eye on is these highs that we just broke through and did a massive bearish engulfing back below. This is an area that's big area of liquidity, strong volume zone. And so what I'm going to keep an eye on is if we get some type of extended rally, this is going to be an area 3,900 to keep an eye on, because that was the start of this liquidity grab here. And so if we get a little bit of a rally, it's going to be where you're going to want to see a rejection and a dump from. But for now, I think we get a little bit of a pop and a continuation here in the ES. Main area to watch today to see if we get a nice bullish continuation is going to be 36.92. If we break through these previous lows we just put in, these wicks right here, then we're heading right back down to lows, no doubt about it, 36.60, and then we'll see where we go from there. So these are the lows you're going to want to watch, maintain their level. If we come down, retest, and start pushing away, I think we can break through this 37.20 high here, and those are the highs you want to watch for a breakout. If we break through 37.20, pretty clean traffic looking left, back up to 37.70 area. And so we're going to want to watch 37.20 and 36.92 as our main areas to see are the bulls or bears in control. So levels I'm looking at for the ES, Looking at the rates are pulling off today, which is a bullish thesis for the ES continuation. Yeah, so I mean, if you look at the rates on the daily, pulling off, rejecting that 39.12 level that I had drawn out here the last couple of days. I mentioned that this was really the last area that we want to see the rejection. If it continues from here, we're going to have a pretty strong move, and that's where we're seeing the rejection here. And so I'd expect a continue to pull off here. We are breaking structure. Not technically, because we haven't broken this previous swing low, but we are breaking the trend line, so we can expect it to start filtering back down and potentially getting a decent pull off here. So that's the bullish thesis for the bounce today in the equities market. Overseas, just chilling. DAX sideways, Hang Seng sideways, FTSE sideways. So, you know, nothing that's going to drag the market down today, at least. Alrighty. What are we doing commodities? What's up? Gold. Take a brief look at the commodities, and I'll head over into Forex and hop back to commodities for trading levels, because commodities, not quite the volume time for me yet. Taking a look at gold here. Gold's having a little bit of a bounce. Right in this zone here. Previous area of contention, previous pivot point here. Found some support before, found some resistance before. And so looking at it currently, that's where we broke below close, and now we're potentially closing back above. So we can get, this is a retest, and we're potentially now going to retest this 1658 breakdown here. And that would go in line with if we get this dollar pullback. But we'll see what happens there. However, the fact that the dollar's not breaking out gives us a bullish thesis that gold can have a rebound, and it has my blessing. Looking at the price action here, we broke these lows, created some divergence on the RSI, and now we're breaking back up. And so now potentially we could, like I mentioned, come back up and could continue to retest the 1658. One thing I'm keeping an eye on are these descending highs with these wicks, is we're now coming up to retest it now. So do we reject it and continue back down towards lows? Or do we break through, retest 1646, come back down to retest the trend line, and then continue higher to 1658? Those are the two scenarios I'll be looking at. Are we rejecting 1640 to continue back down to lows? And if we are, I'll look for sells, most likely below 1633. We'll see where price action is. Are we going to break out to 1648, pull back to 1641? I'll look for buys for a continuation of 1658. So we'll have to see what price action gives us come a more high volume time. Taking a look at oil. Oil, massive monthly pullback here. 4 massive monthly bars in a row. It's definitely pricing something in. Could be pricing a global, like, fucking energy crisis and recession. You know, we're already hitting an energy crisis, but even more of one. A cold winter, could be pricing in a cold winter. Could be pricing in a recession. It's pricing something in, because fundamentals right now are backing this sell-off in oil. And so maybe we get a continuation down. Now, the dollar pausing a little bit is going to be a bullish thesis for oil. Not really a bullish thesis, but a thesis that, okay, well, we're not going to start tanking at most likely, because the dollar is not ripping against us. And so looking at current price action for oil, this zone right in here going to be an area of rejection. This is a previous area where we had some big wicks before, some rejection, pivot point here, and then again pivot point here. So this whole zone in here is going to be an area to keep an eye on, where we could potentially bounce from, which is why you're seeing this daily candle bounce from 76, 77 area. And so now, you know, what do we expect with current price action? It's pretty simple today. 78.23, these highs already have it drawn. Any close above there, we'll run into 80, and then I'll look for buys to 80. However, we didn't really get a strong rally out of 78 to 80. I mean, we got a rally there, but it was not even close to sustaining itself. Big rejection and fell off. And so there's really no bullish momentum in oil right now. And I'd expect it to most likely leak back down and fall off again. So if we do close below these 77.30 lows, then we're going to filter back down to 76 and potentially lower. But it's too early to tell right now. Not really much volume in it yet, so I'm going to wait to trade it, and we'll see where we're at. The only thing I notice is potentially hidden divergence here. And you know, if we break these highs, then we're going to continue to 80, and that'll be a nice bullish run. So we'll see when we come back more into a higher volume time where we're going to go. But right now it seems weak. With any bounce we get, it gets knocked right back down. And now we're consolidating, and so do we get knocked right back down, or do we have enough momentum to break out? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Bitcoin reclaimed 20,000. Having a nice rally today. And so, given that the equities market's rallying, you're going to see Bitcoin rally. We've talked about how they've been correlated a little bit lately. And we're seeing a nice rally out of the bottoms here. If we can maintain a move above 20,500, could get a nice extended rally, maybe to retest 21,800. This area right in here, top was right here, broke above, big bearish engulfing. This area right here is going to be an area to keep an eye on, whether we get a retest and then dump back down. Euro JPY, I am long this right now, by the way, but I want to, before I hop into Forex real quick, I want to see if there's any news events that came out that would fundamentally adjust my trading bias for the day. Inflation will be higher and less temporary than I thought 1 year ago. No shit. No shit. Are you serious? Japan's finance minister Suzuki, we will continue to monitor the Forex market. No, you fucking won't. No, you won't. Let's check your hedge real quick. Yeah, nothing really, no news really to care about that came out overnight, so we're clear in that aspect. So let's just take a look at Forex now. I'm going to start with Euro JPY just because I am long it right now. Then we'll hop to pound yen, pound AUD, and we'll see what Euro USD and USD JPY are up to as well. Maybe pound USD as well. But we'll just start with the pairs that I trade. Euro JPY. If you take a look at this trend line here, a pretty important area that we just came back and retested. It's also 2018 high. Right here, 2018 high, pivot point. Had some rejection here in 2022 of March. A lot of rejection here in May. And a lot of rejection here in July. So this is a very strong pivot point that we now just rejected yesterday. And so we closed with a big rejection, little bullish candle. And now what I'm looking at is this zone right here. Do we maintain a bullish stance above this area here? Because this is going to be a strong area of contention that we're going to want to hold for any bullish move out. And I do think that we have potential upside momentum here, at least to like 141,800. We have that big rejection from yesterday. We have a lot of clean traffic. And if I had to pick the euro or the yen, which sucks, but that's the pair here, is I'd pick the euro, I guess. But yeah. Regardless, it's holding levels really strong. Could have a nice move back up. This is the last area that we've had a lot of rejection and wicks before. 141,800. And so I think we could have a nice little squeeze out of here. Last time we squeezed from this zone here, we've rallied to right here, 144. We rallied to right here, 142. We rallied to 145. And so it tends to have some pretty strong rallies out of this zone typically. And so looking at price action, we had really strong lows set at this 138, 139 area. Had a massive move down, and that was during the flash crash. Big move back up, and now this area right here that we're sitting at, which is where my stop's going to be at, is going to want to hold because that's a strong area of liquidity, strong area where we grabbed orders, stop people out. And so typically, if it breaks through here, you want to have a continued move down. And so, which is why I like the risk to reward longs here, taking a long in this zone, stops just below the area, take profit back up towards like 141, like, you know, this area right up in here, 141,300. Previous resistance here, previous support up in here. And so this is going to be an area that I think we could potentially bounce to. So right now we're just accumulating this area, but we should have enough accumulation and strength to rally out of here and give us a nice monthly and weekly rejection. Weekly could have a nice potential rejection as well. So looking good for Euro JPY. Risk to reward is looking good, so we'll hold on to it. Pound yen. Everything seems like it wants to kind of squeeze out of here. Pound yen creating these higher lows, getting really tight in here, and it seems like it's ready to squeeze out of here and fill some of this massive bearish action that we had the last, week. Maybe not fill the entire thing, but yesterday was filled with so much volume, this massive grab, and we had a really strong rally out of there. Came down, retested that rally out of here, and now we're running back up. Kind of tells me that we're ready to squeeze and continue and grind out of here towards like 159, 158 to 159. 159 going to be the stop I'm looking for. And so what I look for on pound yen is a breakout, a retest, then I'll look for longs at 156.5 or 157. Once we find support, then I'll look for a rally to 159. So I'm going to look for longs on the retest. Don't really want to buy this breakout because it could be a wick or a fake out. I could buy here as we're sitting in this accumulation zone expecting a breakout, but the anticipation trade is too risky right now because we are sitting under an important level. We do have so much bearish momentum the last like few days, and so it's too much bearish momentum to do an anticipation trade as a breakout. And so I'm going to wait for a break and retest, and then I'll look for longs as we're already breaking and holding structure at that point. Pound AUD, same story. Sitting right below these monthly lows here. Monthly lows back from October of 2017. You're seeing a lot of support and resistance in this area here. And so now what we're doing is we're wedging and we're getting tight right into that level. And so kind of the same thing. I'll look for a break, a retest, and then longs for continuation. Too much bearish momentum and strong levels to anticipate this trade here again. And so I'm going to be looking for potential longs. If we do break down and retest and find resistance to continue lower, I'll look for sells in that retest. Same story, different side. And so we'll just have to see what they give us. But let's set our alerts for pound AUD long side on this breakout. Short side on this breakdown. Pound yen, same thing. Add alert. And then to the downside as well. Yeah, cool. And you know, sit in Euro JPY. Now we wait for pound yen and pound AUD. Gold's pushing up to that trend line. apparently, is Powell supposed to be out now? Is he saying anything? No, so he's not saying anything. Okay, he's not really saying anything important today. Never mind. About 50 minutes. We have quarrel. We have durable good orders. Gas leaks from Nord Stream pipelines will continue for days. Is nat gas not really moving off that? Nothing yet. Take any trades today, Taz? Anything for you today? London was ugly? Yeah, dude, London was ugly. You're right. London was ugly. That's right, though. I guess traders got too much action yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday was fucking nuts. So, but yeah, you're right. It's a tough one over London. So maybe you'll get something in New York. After such high volume yesterday with the flash crash and a rally back, could just be an inside day today. Could be. Hear ye. Taz, next Friday is my wedding. I expect you to fly to Maryland for it. Yeah, next Friday. Next Friday, I'll see you there. The 7th. Birta, she's hiding in the background. You could have said hi. Thank you. Thanks, Birta. Man, we got everybody here today. He's over there lurking in the background. Not even saying good morning. Gold now approaching this trend line here, so going to be interesting to see where do we go from here. Sorry, I should have, but I need to leave in 10 minutes again. Still, good morning. Good morning. I forgive you, but next time, say hello. I'd love to know who's here. You get participation points. Thank you, Taz. Thank you. Yep, we oh, also, Taz, we found out the gender yesterday. But I can't tell you because we haven't told anybody yet. I'll tell you in WhatsApp. But we found out the gender of our new baby due March 28th. Euro JPY moving. Gold still sitting here at this trend line. So again, we'll see if it rejects it or not. Oil still hanging out. ES potentially breaking out here. Oh man. Hey Taz, we want to go to Dubai for our honeymoon. Can you get us some flights? We want to come to Dubai. See how much flights are. Oh man. Everything's kind of just chilling. It seems like it's going to be an inside day for a little bit. Maybe not all day. We'll see if we can get going here. ES seems like it might want to break out and continue towards 3,700, or I guess 3,780. But right now, gold's hanging out, oil's hanging out, pound yen, pound AUD, Euro JPY. I will be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Alrighty. I can see nothing's moved still. Gold treating rejection here at that trend line. ES flirting with that breakout. What's going on, Mel? What's going on, brother? Going to be interesting to see if the ES breaks through this 37.19. Breaks through this 37.19, could have a nice run today. Otherwise, it'll most likely be an inside day. Whereas Nick these days, just working on the Vant back-end stuff. He's trading, working on the website stuff, taking care of his family. He's still there, just doing some other back-end stuff right now. That's why he hops on every now and then, because he's a busy man doing busy things for Vant these days. Yeah, I will. I'll let him know you asked about him today. We'll be back on consistently soon. Website's almost done. Back-end stuff's almost done, so he'll be back on soon with all of us. We're either going to get some really good moves today in oil and the ES and the dollar, or we're just going to maintain consolidation and have an inside day. It's going to be one or the other. Nikola announces extension of exchange offer to acquire Romeo Power common stock. Nikola. Oh, God. Oh, God, Nikola. You're buying another shit company. Look at that. Nice. Good for you. What's Apple doing? Apple's gapping up pre-market. I know it's a bad time to buy in housing right now, but would it be a good time to slash the price with a lower bid? Think about bidding low. Possibly. You know, it's interesting because the housing market, for some reason, the housing market's getting weak, but the prices are remaining elevated. It's weird. But I mean, I think that sellers that are still trying to sell right now would probably, in my eyes, consider a lower bid, just because the housing market's only going to get worse from here. They could probably use the cash heading into a recession. I mean, look, it's worth a shot. I think you'd be surprised because I don't think anyone's out there bidding on houses right now or looking to buy houses. It's worth a shot. Your rates are going to be a lot higher than they would have been, but I think people are just looking to sell at this point. No, I know what you mean, Mo. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, I think people are just motivated to sell right now. So you're saying bid 550 instead of 700? Yeah, I mean, shit. I would. Why not? Because then maybe you'll actually get it at the value you should be getting it at. Prices are still inflated right now, so which they shouldn't be. So, yeah. Bid at the correct level. Gold, nice 30-minute bearish engulfing, rejection at this trend line here. So the question is, do we reject it and continue lower? If we break through 1633, could be some nice sells. Or do we reject it temporarily and then break through it? Maybe retest and then go. And so it's going to be something to keep an eye on. Exactly, why not? I mean, look, it doesn't hurt, right? Shit. Maybe you'll get the house that you want for a cheap price. I would do it. We're called God Borlam's here. Dude, dark mode was like, I didn't like the cold color scheme of that shit. I feel like I couldn't see the candles. Give me some like, dude, give me some good color schemes with it and I'll try it again. But I didn't like what I was getting. I couldn't figure out what I liked. Save the planet. Go green. What? Go green. I don't know. Give me some good color schemes and I'll give it a try again, but I wasn't vibing with it. I feel like I couldn't see. I can see here. Clearly. Dark mode reduces energy? Yeah, it went right over my head. Dude, you're too smart for me. I can't talk to smart people. I like the black outlines of the candles on like a lighter screen. It kind of like makes them pop more. I understand it more. It's like I trade better on this. What are we losing money on today? That's the spirit. Oh, I don't know. Everything's kind of just inside right now. But look, if oil breaks through 78.20, 78.23, then I'll look for a squeeze out of here to 80. So maybe we'll lose money on oil today. On the flip side, if oil breaks below, let's say 77.50, I'll look for a pushback down to 76.50, and we'll look to lose money on oil on the downside. Oh, let's see. How can we lose money on gold today? Watching this trend line here. So if we break above, retest, and run, I'll look to lose money on gold in the longs. If gold breaks below 1633, I'll look to lose money in the shorts on gold. 4-hour oil chart throwing some upside alerts again after I posted that chart yesterday. Of course, it tanks. Yeah. Yeah, yesterday get that nice nasty tank. But throw in some divergence here. I think we could have some nice buys if we can get a squeeze out of here. That's probably going to be like my favorite play of the day. I think the ES could get going here also. ES is starting to potentially break out of this 37.20 area that I was talking about. If we can get going from here, we can get going to like 37.70. ES is looking good for a breakout here, potentially. If we don't shoot another wick like these. I'd want to see it close though. I'm also long Euro JPY right now. So, looking to make some money on that though. Never use apps about your server, so you sandwich through free calls on SPY. Yeah, you should have. That would have been a pretty decent idea there. I mean, this whole area here would have been a great area just to say fuck it and throw some calls on. Could get a nice bounce. This is the last week of the month. So if you look at the monthly, could have a nice, throw a nice like rejection in this area here. God, gold is so ugly. Pound yen, pound AUD, chilling. I figured they might have an inside day today. Unfortunately, Euro JPY might as well, but yeah, we got durable goods in 5 minutes. After that, I'll probably hop off because I mean it's just. I think it's gonna be pretty dead today, honestly. I'm just gonna be mainly watching these oil breakout plays. Were you in anything? I'm in just Euro JPY right now, longer Euro JPY. But I'm mainly gonna be watching, aside from the Euro JPY, all these oil longs above 78.23. Gold's not the best range in gold today, so we'll see about gold. ES potential breakout. A couple plays I'm gonna be watching today, but that's if we get some volume in the market because it seems like it's pretty dry out there. I will wait till durable goods comes out and then I will hop off after that. 4-hour nice bull alert. Good. You know what, Bordelum? I have mixed feelings about you. How about that? Nah, I mean, I like it. I like it mainly because we have this really nice area here that we are holding really nicely with a lot of rejection wicks. Also, where we came big bearish candle, big bullish back above. This was the flash crash that we just came down and retested 2018 high. This area I talked about earlier, very strong area of support. So we came down, rejected it. This is a big liquidity area that we dipped into yesterday. And so now we're holding this important area that we need to hold. If we break below this 138,500 area, which is where my stop's sitting, then we're coming down and we're breaking even farther down. And so that's why I think it's a good risk reward where we're at, that we could potentially bounce, squeeze out of here, have some pretty clean price action. It's a 7-to-1 risk reward almost. So look at the daily chart in GU. That wick is insane. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, look at GJ. Look at GJ. Look at GA. Like, yeah, GU is nasty too. But look at GJ, dude. Pound yen. Holy cannoli. Look at this thing. Look at pound AUD. Holy cannoli. Dirty. Pound yen, dude, to him. This wick is 600, almost 700 pips. Nasty. $19 seconds till durable goods comes out. Then I'm going to hop off probably. But Euro JPY in the next 30 minutes at 9, if we close the nice bullish engulf in the 4-hour, there's a lot of 4-hour support here. I think we can get it going and squeezing out of here. Plus, the euro is stronger than the pound right now, so that's that. I mean, not the pound, the yen. Alrighty. Durable goods came out a lot worse than expected. Even worse than last time. Wow, okay. What's the market doing? Anything? Nah, yeah, it doesn't care about it, I guess. Came out way worse than expected here. Yeah, the market ain't doing shit. So that's that. Leading indicator of production, which means there's not many manufacturing orders here, so came in really worse than expected. Came in negative, and market's just chilling. So yeah, market don't give a fuck. Just gonna leave it at that. I mean, like, I ain't doing anything. So yeah, I'm gonna just hop off. There's really nothing exciting going on out there. So yeah. Can see pound yen? Yeah, sure, why not? What I'm looking for pound yen. So we had a lot of, obviously we had the flash crash yesterday. We had a really strong bounce off those lows. Nice bullish continuation. The bounce down was very weak. Sellers couldn't really knock it down that much, and so now we're grinding back up towards that bounce here. And so I'd expect pound yen to have a bullish continuation out of here. We're squeezing in here, getting pretty tight. And so if pound yen breaks through 156.500, then I think we get a nice rally out towards like 159. So I'm looking for buys for longs on pound yen. Lot of rejection wicks on the upper end here on the top side, so I would wait for it to break through. But it could be an anticipation trade if you're looking to just buy it now and look for a run. But right now, there's too much bearish momentum the last week to do an anticipation trade, in my opinion. And so I'm expecting either buys above 156.500 or sells below 155.471. So sells and then buys. That's what I'm looking for pound yen, and I think you can get a nice continuation out of that, whichever way it breaks. Bullard speaks 30 minutes after open. If he says anything really dovish, I think the market squeezes. Yeah, I think the market squeezes either way today, honestly. I just think after that oversold, not really oversold, after this pretty extended move down into a very important monthly and weekly rejection zone, that we have a little bit of a squeeze out of here, maybe to retest like 3,800 or something like that. Yeah, market really wants to hear what Powell has to say. You're right. But Euro JPY should get going. See if oil can squeeze out of here as well, but that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna hop off because there's really nothing at all going on. I'm not sitting here all day if there's nothing going on. So, but yeah, let's see if we get the squeeze. Nice talking to you, Mark Bornlum, Kelvin, Mo, everybody who tuned in. I appreciate it. I'll be back on tomorrow, and I'll see you on the Vant and Rant show at 1. Kick ass today in the markets, guys. Peace.